It's February 18th, 2024. My name's Joe Gilberti, professional engineer, PE number 56079. I'm going to try to do like a 5 to 10 minute video here explaining everything because I got to put it all on these legal documents. And I'm not an attorney, I'm an engineer, and we can't really find attorneys for something this big and political and powerful to the world because it's global knowledge on our true water origins, which is called primary water. Everyone can look up a man named Steve Rice. He died in '85. He kind of explains it better. He tried to open it for 50 years. It affects the monetary fund because all the trade lines change. We all know there's oil under us and what's good and what's bad, but this is called primary water from the core, so you don't need rain for food and water in some of these desert areas that there's a lot of wars, like the Middle East. The Middle East essentially is water wars. So I'm going to go over a quick summary timeline of what's happened to me and my family and the country because I found this thing over at the Doy Ranch at 9438 Daughtry Road, Sarasota, Florida, 34266. You just get down Clark Road, State Road 72, all the way at the end. You'll see the Flint Ranch. It's at that Tri-County area in the lower Maca region. This letter here, which was dated February 20th, 2023, involves an engineer that Ivan Pegger, who's new from New York for 30 years, where I found another one in New York. When I say another one, I'm talking about a natural resource that accesses primary water, which comes from the core. The core steams into the rocks, and there's oceans of alkaline spring water mixtures, maybe older than the dinosaurs, that are bubbling up in springs, but you got to grab them off certain stones. The one in Doy Ranch is a buried meteor impact from a tilted platform. So when I found this thing, the way it happened is I got hired by Tim Mapp and Dr. William Sidney King of Sarasota Cardiology. He's a cardiac guy. He flies airplanes. They wanted to do a fly-in community with a dirt pit, a borrow pit, and it had phosphate in it, and we're in the Mosaic Phosphate District, which they've been digging phosphate for fertilizer since the 20s. There's a deep well on Buck's property, and it's next to a tilted platform from this meteor impact, so something unique's coming up in the area, and they knew for a long time, and there's a 4-county pump station through the woods where they're pumping dirty river water into Sarasota County from Sarasota to control development. The developers set it up so they can control everyone else. Because if you had Fiji water to your tap, your home's worth a lot more than treated water from these dirty rivers. So I'm running a pipe all the way down the railroad track down Seminole Gulf, and I had to go down the interstate and go to South Florida because there's water issues and there's so many people coming and it goes to the ports, there's food trade, so I'm getting a lot of activity. So not to keep going left and right, I want to talk about subduing your adversaries. They've been subduing me with fake charges, fake courtrooms, which I think you're seeing today all over the place, while they're trying to steal this farmer's ranch, and they got caught up in a bad mortgage, and they brought the best they got. Lee Pilardi of Tampa with the Barlow's boys, old Notre Dame clique. Thomas Hauser on the banks for 3 generations in Manatee County, where the closest port is, it's going to get widened. And everyone else under the sun tied the bush all the way up to the monetary fund. So they were trying to repress the knowledge by subduing me with fantastic events called the Smith-Mundt Act. The very first one was the Boston Marathon explosion. DeSantis and all them know I sued them all. I put all the stories in it, learning how to be a processing attorney because all the attorneys took our money and left. Right now, Sarasota County is in a fraud transfer. If you look at the whole timeline, it's over $300 million in tax base. They're all involved with stealing, with environmental easements around Buck, which is Cecil Daughtry, and building this reservoir, acting like they got no water, pumping people arsenic rivers and treating it. And then they're actually infiltrating the colleges. My kid just went through environmental engineering, and the professors are told to teach what they're supposed to teach, and they're getting funded. And they're doing watersheds instead of grabbing these primary water sources and bringing spring water to the tap, alkaline spring water with no impurities. So anyway, going back to the Boston thing, I'm out on bond because I fired Greenberg, Torg, Dave Weinstein, Vin Marchetti in Tampa for conflict of interest because they were working for Mosaic next door, and Sarasota never signed the mining compact. So I was hired to do a mining permit so they could facilitate the $57 million deal where basically these mining compacts, they come in, they just tell the county, we're going to do a compact with you. Here's a check for $100 million. Here's a bunch of parks. And we're just going to deal with the Corps of Engineers. And Greenberg runs that with them, building like $250,000 a month with Dave Weinstein. So I fire them. They get Sheriff G to arrest me for cyber stalking because I'm whistleblowing the fact that I can go to Peace River Pump Station and replace dirty river water with clean alkaline spring water and lower all the water bills and bring them health antioxidant. When you take a shower, you soak in water, it's in your cooking. I don't need to get into the level of service, it's trivial. But this thing is so off the chart in health, it's going to affect everybody within months. People are going to be acting different, a lot healthier environment, and it's everywhere all over the planet. Just not quite as good as this one. This one I heard is by far the baddest one on the planet, and second place is so far below, and we're in a great location for the peninsula and the sunny weather. So glacier water in the sun with homes, you can control the developers, everything. So I'm going to move the thing down the tracks, and everybody gets it, especially the existing customers, all the existing homes. So anyway, I emailed Governor Scott Joggin with Herschel Vineyard, Secretary of Florida Department of Transportation, and they're jogging in a Leon County torch run where it's like handicapped people for the Olympics. It's a fundraiser. So I'm doing a mass addy. I'm out on bond for cyberstalk, and with Greenberg toward the victims. They're using the cops to subdue me, and it all got dropped in the end. But during the process, they changed the cyberstalking laws to felonies because of this. Instantly, everyone signed. They were after me because you can't have a professional engineer exposing the permits and doing this. They hid this thing too long. So, and they're all over the desert in the Middle East or under the military bases. So world hunger can end in days. The wars need to end. And that's why all this action is. So anyway, I emailed the Boston bomb thing. I emailed them jogging in a fundraiser, and the Boston bomb blows 5 hours later. I didn't even know. And all of a sudden, my bond went from $500 to $300,000 with Judge Dominguez. Then he took off, recused himself the next day, and puts it on Conrad. There's a rotating the judges. Everyone's scared. Why'd the bond go up? So they lock me in a hole while they're trying to foreclose on the farmer because they ran him up in a mortgage because they put a levy on his land for $100,000 with those doctors that hired me, Tim Mapp and them. They all set up this sting. And he didn't know me at the time, so he went and got a hard money note, and it was due in 2 years. He didn't even have a job. He wasn't supposed to get the note. Someone could have lent him the $100,000. None of this would have happened. They set him up. And they used my documents to do it, so it pisses me off. Plus, I figured out this water thing, so it was meant to be. So the bond goes up, and they steal his note. They basically take his note with these guys, and then no one gets a trial. Sarasota switches out the e-file software on October 14th, 2013. I'm just getting out. They're throwing me back in jail with the same charges. You know, a bunch of email stuff. I mean, to subdue me. And basically, Buck never gets a trial. They get a judgment. So because they had a bad mortgage, it's still going on with title. And they did another one, Parkland shooting. I turned in the FDEP application to Marjorie Stoneman Douglas building, and the Parkland shooting happened 17 days later, exactly 17 days shot and wounded. I offered them all $1 million 20 days later, and they all took off. Just expose the water and help everyone. In between that, in 2016, I presented to Broward County. A month later, the Pulse Bar happens. On 6/12/2016. 612 days later was Valentine's Day of the Parkland. It's all agenda stuff. It's called the Smith-Munt Act Mod, House Resolution 5736. Came out May 2012 when I went to Swift Mod and exposed this source. I just didn't know about the meteor stuff. It took another year. Brought a guy, Jim Murray, over on April 3rd, 2013. And we validated. He said he'd never seen water on the planet like it. He maintains all the aquifers in Palm Beach, so that was in 2013. So all the utility divisions all know Jim. They all know me over the years. They all know the engineers at Stantec I work for, Dave Kemper, and all of them. And everyone knows, and they're scared. Because this thing affects the world, man. It's not just this resource. I found a buried volcano yielding water pretty close to this in Jersey at Washington Rock to replace all the aqueducts in New York. We run 200-mile aqueducts, and they're all old and crumbling. They're 200 years old or something. So it affects, maybe that's why Building 7 went down to crush those aqueducts. We explained that to Naples. We need to see how much they're leaking. We need to replace it with this other external source. They're calling Ohio to find water, and they know about the source, and they're not showing us. which is what they're doing in Florida. So this Parkland thing was timed, and right after I did the Broward presentation, someone shot up a building and put it on my cousin Corey. It's case 17-2130 CF 10A with Judge Fine. Now, how come Judge Fine hit it? I intervened on all the cruise cases. I sued him. Why isn't the media telling us? Because I believe it's fake. And if it's fake, Title 18, you conspired against my rights, timing things and subduing me with capital crimes. It's 1 to 10 years. If someone died, it shows the death penalty. And, you know, not one leader wants to expose either one of these resources in New York. Not one media team, not one NFL player, not one celebrity put on YouTube. And all the way to 2013. So we got one thing, if they're hiding it on the computer, which I'm all over the internet. Well, we got a big gang here that needs to go. So I wanted to explain it because I got to put it in paper. What they did is they went to bid the leftover land of Bucks. They stole $2,300 to get their hard money back. They didn't get the wells. I beat everyone. But I need a connection agreement. Everyone needs to go to the media and go hook up all this primary water to our tap. You take these underground rivers and you run them to the treatment plants and make them filtration plants and lower all the water bills and lower all the revenue bonds. It's the mortgages for all the pipes for power and water because we have a better source and you all hit it, so we leverage the banks. And that's what I'm going through right now. So the public needs to get up. Everyone needs to go down to your local newspaper and say, why aren't we addressing this thing to make all our water and power bills go down and get spring water to all our taps and children and schools and hospitals? So that's all I'm asking the public. And let's start looking at, once the water's exposed, the primary water around the whole world, start looking at these timed events and start calling in every single leader in their metadata and saying, why would you want to be a leader and hide something this beautiful for our country? Why would you want to even do it? So the whole fault line under California has got them leaking. Everywhere, they're everywhere. It's just where is it rubbing off? And how much value is it? Well, it's a lot better than a polluted river treated no matter what, if it's spring water. So it doesn't have to be the best, highest calcium magnesium we've seen on the planet. This one's showing 118 in calcium and 78 milligrams of magnesium with a negative voltage and nothing else in it. I got the entire documents done for phase 1. We could bring the military and Army Corps and start bringing all the pipe and laying it down the interstates all across the alley. While we're working on the bridges, everyone can start today. I mean, it's ready to go now. And we don't have a leader willing to expose it because of the crap they did. And, you know, they don't even want to come to the table. They want to make it worse. And, you know, Trump knows, I served him, Biden knows, Obama knows, they all know. And maybe we just need to ask them nicely, you know, to all come to ranch together. So, you know, all of them, Bush, all of them, and preside the resource. And we can call all this coincidence. I need the water hooked up, but if you saw these coincidences and you saw the way these judges are acting and you saw the fraudulent transfer, and we talk about accountability, it's hard for me to partner with a region of judges and commissioners and Governor DeSantis who have done all this to everybody. So I'm in a catch-22. I mean, every single one of them bad, or every single one of them scared, but there's definitely not any leadership. So this is a time when the people need to help the leaders, because the leaders, I believe, have been leveraged in some indirect way that I don't want to get into. And they got families too, and they got wives and husbands too that don't deserve all this stuff. So I'm willing to forgive everyone because I took all the hits. No one else did. And I think it's only fair to me and my family that everyone in Florida and New York get up and start going to the media and saying, please, expose this thing correctly, and everyone get together and let's stop the wars in the Middle East and lead like, you know, like America claims they lead. So when everyone class wants to say the Pledge of Allegiance, they want to say the Pledge of Allegiance. See? So it's timing to subdue me while they're trying to take Daughtry's land, and they're attacking my partner Flint too, who's got 2 of the wells. And these farmers have stuck it out, and they're not rich people. They're land rich and cash poor, and they've been raped by this Sarasota gang of judges. And it's not all of them, I'm sure, but if you don't cooperate, then they'll replace you. It's like, you know, so something at the very top has decided to get a little too cocky with our people and everybody else. And I think even the generals and the military all know about me. I had to sue the Pentagon. I sued everyone to show them where the locations were. You have to put a number in there. I threw in 300 million. I threw in lucky numbers or something. But we need a connection agreement. We need the media to cooperate. And we need these two presidents to both preside this thing together and work together and quit debating. And, you know, you open up this thing and all those courtrooms and all the stuff on Trump will disappear in one day, because all them courts know about me. I've already emailed those people and they're scared too. So fear is killing everyone. And there's, hey man, fear's the virus. So help me out. You can go to Gilberti Blue Gold, Gilberti, and see the website. You can call the media and ask them and send me your video so I can load them up in the courts. Don't be afraid of everybody. They're not that tough. They're scared and they need help. And so do all these actors and maybe the media people too. Everyone go to their human resources and get together like 5 of you at once if you're really scared, and grab an attorney and see, can we go and not lose our job at the media or something like that. Or sacrifice your job, be a hero. Anyway, I don't want to get into all that. I need everyone's help because I'm going to keep going. They're going to keep trying to throw me in jail with illegal charges. And I'm getting smarter and better at this stuff, but it could be over in one day if everyone just got on the phones and went down the street and started videoing the media people going, we want this thing exposed because we want lower power and water bills, extremely lower, with the good water and the good food at all the restaurants. And all the cruise ships fill up with spring water. All the farming starts to know where to punch their wells at. They're right around us. You could have a well here that's bad, and 100 feet over have the blue gold. And they know how to find it from satellite. Anyway, that's it.